Have you ever looked at your website and you know the design isn't great, but you just don't know where to start to fix it? A lot of people are in the same boat. My name's Melanie and I am a web designer. And today I want to walk you through a web redesign that I did for a friend who came to me with the same problem. She built the site on her own, and actually, for not being a web designer, she did a really great job, but she knew it just wasn't quite right, but she didn't know where to start to fix it. So I stepped in to help her understand the different pieces of her website and how to use them to her best advantage. And I want to share those things with you because design can seem really scary and overwhelming and complex, but really, if you know the different pieces and the motivation for each of those pieces of your website, things start to become a lot easier. So let's dive in. We're just going to do the header of this website. This is a website a friend of mine built for a program that she is running down in Nashville. The value of the program is insane. Anyway, I won't get onto that side tangent. However, we want the value of the program to match the look of the site. But the first thing we want to look at is hierarchy. So when you look at this website, what do you see? Like, what do you notice first? And honestly, it's kind of hard. This was the biggest piece of advice we gave them is you need to figure out what needs attention, because right now there's so much going on. Your eye doesn't actually know where to look. The logo's huge over here, which draws attention. Then you have wording here, which draws attention. Then you have a busy cityscape, which also draws your attention. You've got bright colors in it. And then you have your register now. And then this section right here actually moves on the live site. So there's movement, it's red, it really catches your eye. So your eye's kind of bouncing sporadically throughout all of this. What we want to do is figure out what the most important information is that someone sees when they come to this website. Tell them your value, what you're offering, what they're going to get out of it, and how to sign up. Those are our top goals with this. So to do that, we're going to jump over here to our mock-up and just show you the difference. So immediately you can almost feel your brain just go, ah. There's not as much to look at. There's not as much information to intake and have to make sense of. So immediately, the first thing we're going to do is change that background picture. The cityscape one is fun. It's cool. However, it doesn't really tell you anything other than the location of what you're selling. It doesn't tell you anything about the actual service or the value that you are providing to anyone who purchases this experience. So what we did was we changed it out to be more of a value statement of this is where you could be. So this image is showing what their life is going to look like should they sign up for this experience. So that's the first thing. Very first, we want them to see this is worth me even looking at. This is where I want to go. This is who I want to be. Now I'm going to see how they claim they're going to get me there. So then we have, our intro statement. So you're going to be trained by professionals. So you're going to have that experience on stage competing against other artists, and then you're going to be discovered. You're going to be given all kinds of information and resources and opportunities to actually get discovered in an industry that is really hard to break out in. Then down here, we add a little more information about how that works. Then we want to highlight the highest value of this experience. So we get compete for a record deal. We want that one, number one. That is huge. Getting a record deal is essentially launching you into this music career. But then you also have the training with professionals. So this isn't just a music teacher who decided to have a music camp to teach you how to sing better. You're actually training with professionals in the industry where you can ask your questions, get real life experience, and understand what the industry truly is. And you're getting performance experience, which is always valuable for musicians. And then we also want them to notice the register button. We want that to pop off the page like crazy so that you don't have to search. Our brains are so overwhelmed all the time. The easier you can make it to take action on your website, the better, because the easier it is, you're automatically winning points with your viewers. Because if they have to think hard, unless it is like win $1 million, chances are they're not going to go to the effort. They're going to go to a website that's easier to figure out. And then we also have the option to learn more. So if they're not quite ready to take that leap yet, they can click that button. It'll take them down to additional details down here, further down on the page. And then we have a cleaned up header as well. We want that to be super clear and give you a really bird's eye view of what's on the page. So we have home, the intensive, which just gives more details about what this program is and how it works, contact in case they have questions, as well as FAQs, because a lot of people have questions. They kind of want to figure them out themselves. And then if they can't figure it out themselves, then they'll go to contact you directly. And then again, another register now button. And this would scroll with the page all the way down. So they always have access to that register button. So at whatever point on their website that they find they're ready to take that action. It's like, oh yeah, okay, that just answered my last question. I am ready. You don't want them to have to scroll through the site again to try and find that button. So that is available always. So this is their actual logo. They had an older logo, if you remember, here at the top with just text, and then the other one was overlaid on the header. We shifted that up into the header to look a little more professional. That's where typically industry standards, that's where people expect your logo to be. So biggest takeaways from this redesign: make sure your menu is clean, clear, and easy to read. Make sure your image that you use is a way for the potential client or customer to be able to see themselves and the value that they will receive by using your product or service. And then be very clear about what you're offering. Don't make this vague. A lot of people try and make this super creative and punny and all of those things just to make it vague and exciting and mysterious. Don't do that, because unless someone knows your brand and they're excited to read it, if they get in here and they don't know what you do, they're gone. They're going to leave. They're not going to stick around to figure it out and do the work to dig through all of your information to find out who you are. You want them to know immediately. The way you can think about it is, if someone came to your website and this is all they saw, you want them to have enough information that they know who you are, what you do, what you offer, and why it matters to them. And then also, bonus, fifth option, is that they can take action right then to either buy your service, buy your product, sign up, whatever the call to action is that you want them to do. They need to be able to do that in this first section. Then the next sections just act as support to this first piece. But the header on your website is so insanely important.